Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alina and I'm your Russian teacher. Today I want to teach you how to say I have and I don't have something in Russian. Because very often you need to say that you have something or some person or you don't have them. So let's figure out together how to say it and how not to make a mistake using this construction. Let's begin. And let's start with the easiest thing, how to say I have or I don't have something in the present tense. Always, let's try to memorize that in Russian you will start this construction with the preposition u. U means at. But in our case, we don't translate it anyhow. So try to memorize that you always start with u. Then your pronoun, your noun, your name, you will always use in the genitive case. So the person who has something always will be saying in the genitive case. Like this, instead of saying у я, we will put я in the genitive case. And we will have у меня, then у тебя, у него, у нее, у нас, у вас, у них. These are all the pronouns in the genitive case. Same logic will be for names, nouns. У мамы, у Александра. Doesn't matter. Anything you put in the genitive case. And after this у меня, у тебя, we always use the word есть. У меня есть, у тебя есть. Есть we don't change here no matter what. It'll be always the same. And after this construction, you just use anything that you want to say. У меня есть машина. У тебя есть телефон. У него есть сестра. У них есть дом. You see, I don't change anything. Everything stays in the basic form except for the word for the person that has something. It'll be all in genitive. Then the negative construction, when you don't have something, will be similar, but at the same time a little bit different. Like this, we keep the first part. У меня, у тебя, у него, у нее. Everything before the word есть. And in the negative construction, instead of есть, you will say нет. Not у меня не есть. Not у меня есть нет. No. Always remove the word есть completely and use just the word нет. У меня нет, у тебя нет. And after нет, if you know, we always use genitive. So this negative construction will have double genitive. У меня, меня genitive, нет машины. Машина I put in the genitive case and it looks like this. У меня нет машины. У тебя нет брата. Брата, машины, that is the genitive case. Try to memorize it. In the negative constructions, we use double genitive. If you don't know the endings for the cases, you can study my course on Udemy, where you can learn all the endings, all the situations, where to use the following cases. And like this, you will know how to use all our cases at the level A1. Let's move on. After present tense, we should know how to say something in the past, like you had something long time ago. This construction also will be similar. First, positive constructions. I had something. Again, the first part is the same. У меня, у тебя, у него, у нее. We don't change anything here. But then, instead of the word есть, we should use the word to be, быть, in the past tense. Был, была, было, были. We choose the form according to the word that we have or that we had. Like this, if you want to say, I had a car long time ago. We start у меня. Then we think, car, is it feminine, masculine, plural, or neutral? Машина in Russian is feminine. So we choose the feminine form была. У меня была машина. And that's it. You just think about the word that you had, you think about its gender, and you choose the form был, была, было or были. У меня были друзья. У меня было плохое настроение. У меня был хороший день. According to the word, you just use the necessary form. And then again the negative construction. I had no something, or I didn't have. In this case, we again use the same beginning. У меня, у тебя, у него, у нее. Everything stays without any change. And after у меня or у тебя, we use the form не было. Не было, we use the neuter form. And after не было, again we use genitive. Try to memorize that always in negative constructions you will have double genitive. У меня не было машины. As машина stays not in the basic form, we don't need to think about its gender. It'll be always neuter form. Try to memorize it. У тебя не было денег. Денег, it's just genitive plural. That's why it doesn't matter if it's plural, feminine, masculine, neuter. You just use always the form не было, no matter what you didn't have. And the last part. If we know how to talk in present, in the past, we should know how to talk in the future tense. When you make plans and when you say, I will have this huge house. We need to know how to say it and be optimistic. And here, again, it'll be very similar and pretty simple. In the positive way of saying it, I will have something. Again, you will have the same beginning. У меня, у тебя, у него, у нее. And then you will add the verb быть in the future tense. Here you can have two options. You can use будет if you will have something singular. У меня будет дом. У меня будет квартира. But if you want to say something in plural, у меня будут деньги. Anything in plural you will use in combination with the word будут. So try to memorize. У меня будет, у меня будут. And then again the negative construction for the future. I won't have something when we are not really positive people. So here again it'll be very similar. У меня не будет something in the genitive case. Again, negation, always genitive. У меня не будет машины. У меня не будет денег. Have you noticed something? Yes. Again, because I'm not using plural or singular, I'm using the genitive case, I don't need to change будет. It will always be in the form будет, singular, no matter if you have something in plural or in singular form. And that's it. I'm not going to say that it's simple, but as you can see, it's possible to remember all this form, especially the beginning of it. The beginning is the most important part. Always use у and the genitive case. And sometimes you will see constructions where you don't have the word есть. I will talk about this construction in my following videos because it's the separate topic which is pretty big, and I don't want to waste your time here because you already have a lot to learn. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was interesting. Subscribe to my channel and learn Russian with me.